What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Flannel Panel. We are live. We got Jason and Troy, and we have the special guest that was noted earlier on all the socials. Troy and Jason. Was that both of you guys, or just
I
Troy
think
doing
so.
all this stuff?
It
Yeah,
takes both of us to get anything done.
does it? Yeah. The special guest here is Clint. Clint, welcome. Love the flannel, looking good. Love the hat too. Dude, check that hat out.
Thank you. That's
Bebos.
my logo thing,
For your home bar, right?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a fun thing coming up too. All these home bar logos you might be seeing flying around.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, Clint is the king of hats.
that's true.
That's the man, and he's my enabler. No, really bad. So I bought that hat in Whiskey Weekend batch 4. What are we at? 3. And I went down to get Nat. We were in Louisville, and Nat wanted a Kentucky Derby hat. So I went down, and they didn't have the women's hats, but they did have men's hats. And there was custom hats, and I was going back and forth, and of course, I didn't want to buy it. It was kind of pricey, and Clint happens to walk by. And so I
I didn't say anything. I didn't.
No, I said, "Would you buy this?" And he says, "Yes, that's awesome." So I went back and I bought it.
You need that hat.
It was a sweet
That's
hat,
awesome.
sweet hat from a hat guy, like the hat shop. It was the whole thing. So,
yeah,
you had to have it.
That's feisty tonight. James is in the house. Welcome, James. Michelle, good to see you. Andrew West, what a performance that was last week. I was going to save this for just the tips. Maybe we need to get it out early. If you didn't watch last week's stream, it was a gong show, but Andrew West stole the show. So go back and check that out in the catalog of everything. And Nat, as always, here cheering us on. Welcome to the Flannel Panel, the better channel. Well, we'll see.
My mom thinks so.
What's that?
My mom thinks this is the better channel.
Your mom does?
Oh yeah, she's
Is
big.
she
fan.
subscribed?
No, she doesn't even know I'm on here.
We need to work on that, Troy. We need to work on that. Jason, so the hat, you bought it at Whiskey Weekend. You're muted. And you're muted.
Nobody can hear you.
There we go. I muted myself because I see. Now, this particular hat has been in the wings for years, like 2019. Because there's a thing about it. I love hats. I like being fancy, as you will know, Troy. Mm-hmm. But I get kind of self-conscious about wearing it. Matter of fact, and I have a weird thing about matching. So if it's brown, and I haven't bought any brown stuff, so it's sat on the hat rack since 2019. We actually bought this off a little roadside shop, little store cart in London when Nat and I were there, just down and watching. She made me go down and watch the Harry Potter in London. So, but there's a little hat rack, and this is cool. Just a little felt hat. It's the most comfortable hat you've ever worn. And
nice.
I like hats like that, but I'm afraid I can't pull them off either. So I have way too many ball caps.
I think that's an attitude. You have to have an attitude to wear a hat like that.
Yeah,
have a certain confidence.
I'm going to be fancy, and I'm at 50, so I officially don't give a shit.
I need to adopt that. I need to do that.
You know The movie The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam? I feel like you'd fit in with that.
That inspired me. Like that was like as close to peer pressure as possible. Okay, I'll admit it. We're real friends in here. That show inspired me to buy a pinky ring.
Oh, okay.
And I have it. Actually, Nat bought me. It's really kind of cool. But then I realized I can pull off hats. I don't pull off rings. I got paws, so it's kind of hard. But I bought one.
A pinky ring. I'm not. I don't wear my wedding ring, let alone. Should I tell that story, or will it get me in trouble? So the day we got married, we were driving away, and I had my hand on the steering wheel. It was a sunny day. The sun was beaming in, and it's like a dark ring. And I was like, this thing's getting hot. It's almost like it's burning. So I took it off and never wore it again. So I'm not sure if that's like a sign or whatnot. We're still together. It's almost 11 years, so I think it's okay. But yeah, after rethinking that, I'm like, well, I'm not sure if that's how I should have
before
done
you
it.
started out as mechanic, so I mean that makes sense. You don't wear them.
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few nasty injuries, like when I was in the military, with people keeping their ring on and getting it soldered, or
Sure.
So my first wedding ring was on my dog tags. It's actually still on my dog tags. My daughter has the dog tags. So
Oh, cool. Yeah.
If you leave yours on long enough, you gain weight and then you can't get it off. So then it's stuck forever.
Yeah.
So
there's ways, but it would probably hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just leave it. It's fine.
I actually lost a wedding ring once. One day it just wasn't on my finger anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but
did you lose?
Never did find it. I doubt it.
Okay.
So we're good.
That's not been a problem I've had most of the time.
Losing weight?
Yeah. It's not like I'm walking down the street, all of a sudden, my pants just fall off. Like, oh, I need a sandwich.
Oh, hello there.
I'm usually
hey, give me a sandwich. Emergency.
But no, yeah, I never did find it. I had to get a replacement ring just because, Patty's got to keep me off the market because, those 2 weeks while I didn't have that ring, I mean, women were relentless.
Batting the mafia, were they?
Were
you?
Terrible. Terrible.
I believe it. I've been, I picked you up where you live in that small town. All three of those women, I'm sure, were jumping all over you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those were cousins, but yeah, it still
counts. Well, then.
Yeah. Small town.
You do what you got to do.
Small town. You threw a picture of a small town in the text thread recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. We were up at the little farmers market, and it's actually on the town square at the town hall, and we actually have a watering trough for the Amish guys to park their horses while they're at the sale. So yeah, so we actually have a watering trough here in town.
And you had breakfast at the town hall. Is that what it was? Dave's in here?
It's a fire station. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Dave. Hey, Dave.
Dave, speaking of Dave, you guys I saw another picture today of the Maverick being poured around.
Yeah, I tell you what, that stuff has gone pretty fast. So
good.
I just bought 3 more cases off of Dave the other day, and I'm down to 1 case. I got rid of 2 of them already. So yeah, they're going fast.
I didn't get my official order in. I gave you a pre-order, but I didn't.
I need to do the same.
For everybody who's pre-ordered, don't wait too long because we still have it, but it's going well. So
no, I cannot pronounce that. Gnuten.
That's
Newton
No, I mean, you guys are embarrassing yourselves.
Gnuten something.
It's simple. It's
that sounded rough.
The G is a J somehow. I don't know.
Is it?
Well, that's the way we pronounce it. I think it's German, but
which
would be Gnattenhuten, but we say Gnattenhuten.
Okay. Hutton.
I don't know why.
Not Hooten.
That would not have been my guess.
Maybe I just throw the Canadian in that. Make it Hooten.
Yeah.
Conway doesn't wear a ring. Jen told me that if anyone else will take me, they can have me. I highly doubt that, Conway.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah. What's your favorite hat?
Mine? No, go.
I was going to ask Clint, what's your favorite hat? Do you have a one favorite? Because Clint has a wall of hats.
I don't.
You can see by the way he's looking how vast his hat collection is.
Sorry, I like the ones that have my logo on them, of course.
Yeah, and are they from Melissa?
Yeah,
Melissa hooks you up. That's awesome. That's Melissa Makes, I believe, on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff.
I think I have a Lux Row hat that just fits just right, and it's like the perfect color. So that's a really good one.
Okay. But
then it depends on like the sports season. If I'm deep into baseball, then I have a favorite Cubs hat. But now it's football, so I'll gravitate to one Bears hat. So it kind of depends.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like picking your favorite whiskey. It depends on what mood you're in. You can't.
Oh.
It depends.
Yeah.
How you're feeling.
What mood are you in tonight for whiskey?
Well, I took the opportunity to get a little outside the box because the guys I typically get online to drink with,
Yeah.
they have very limited palates. They don't like much. So tonight I'm having Port Charlotte heavy peated Isla single malt.
My
Wow.
man.
For Troy.
Wow. I love
Probably-
it.
I gotta go.
That's the surprise of the surprise guest.
Yes.
See what
I was
that
afraid
does.
something like this was gonna happen.
I figured I would have some support tonight. So I went for it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm right there with you. Not Port Charlotte because I don't have one, or else I would pour that instantly. It's that's probably my favorite Scotch, that heavily peated Port Charlotte.
It's way up there.
Yeah,
It is.
and I have Octomore here, but I would take the Port Charlotte over it, I think. I'm drinking some Offerman, the Offerman
nice.
Lagavulin.
Oh, I've never had
edition.
it. I've never
Yeah.
tried it.
So I'm a big Lagavulin fan in general.
Mhm.
I found the 8 I like better than the 16.
I think a lot of people say that. I think
yeah,
that's a
really impressed
common-
with it.
Yeah.
But this one's really nice. I have a bit of an allergy going on, and my nose is a mess. So we'll see if I can smell anything.
Matt brought it down.
Oh yeah, no, the
Oh,
pinky ring.
yeah.
Now he's got the hat, he's got the ring,
Got
he's
the
going
hat,
out
got
tonight. He's gonna cause
Jason
some
is
trouble
fancy.
tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm Clint and I kind of did this behind your back on purpose, but I'm also doing the this is one of my favorites, and it's the Glen Scotia. It's a Campbelltown. It's got the same kind of peat. Not quite as Isla peat. It has the smoke and the peat, but it doesn't have as much as the brine of some of the Islas, which I
Yeah.
really like. So Glen Scotia, I said, is the Campbelltown, right next to Springbank. So
Yeah.
We've
And
only
Troy
been
has
on
no
12
idea what
minutes,
we're
but already
talking
this show stinks.
It might smell like peat, but I don't know about
It
stink.
is pretty
Yeah.
Yes.
The only good
Yeah.
thing we got going for us is I think I'm one of the young guys on this episode for a change.
Oh,
you know,
I can't remember if I'm older or younger than Jason, but
we're close.
No, you're-
70. I'm a 70 guy.
oh, never mind.
You're a week
He's younger.
younger than you're 1 week younger than me. That's it.
Clint, no one's gonna believe it. Look at us.
It's true. And bad thing is we have our day is coming up here pretty soon. So
Yeah.
And nobody guessed, but Ian's like 66.
yep, 66, and
it's the Canadian air.
That's
like
what
Benjamin
Canadian Air
Button.
does for you.
Michael Williams. Troy, are you drinking Scotch
I think you
tonight?
should.
No, I am.
I don't know if he
I'm
has
still-
a Scotch. Do you have?
I
a
don't
Scotch?
own any Scotch. I barely own any Canadian. This is in honor of Clint being on here. I'm drinking. This is a bottle he
Oh,
sent me
yeah.
or gave me
Oh,
at
yeah.
Whiskey Weekend Tumbling Dice store pick. So
Sweet.
yep, we're about to the end of that. So
What
That won't make it one more whiskey weekend or whiskey Wednesday. Whiskey
is
Wednesday.
it? Straight up the peat flavor, Troy, or what don't you like about?
well, first of all, I like my whiskey to be American.
Yeah, you would.
No, I don't know. I don't like. I don't think I like the malt. I know I don't like peat. But
Yeah, but you
I've
don't
not
you don't like
tried very
non-peated
many of them.
either. Yeah, you just don't like malt. You don't like American single malt. You don't like malty stuff.
No,
I don't either usually, but I really like peated. I think it's the potent flavor. I like the extra punch to it.
So I think it's a
Yeah.
nice. It's like drinking, high proof bourbon. It has a punch. I think that's why I like the peat as well because I like big bold flavors.
Yeah.
And you can get that with a peaty Scotch, even though it's not 120 proof.
It's
Yeah.
it's very
No, my
similar.
friend JJ will drink Scotch. That's where he started, but no, I can't take it.
Yeah. Well, Michael Williams says thank you, but we have to get you on here soon, my friend. We have to get you on soon and try something with him as well.
Yeah, I've been saving this sample for.
Troy's been yelling at me saying, "When are we getting?"
Look what
this
they're
guy on?"
doing. They're trying to get me to drink Scotch.
But I don't plan, so it's a fault of mine. Yeah. So Michael, we got to get you on soon, and we'll try some stuff. That'll be fun.
I started with Scotch and I fell in love with it mostly because similar to this play, similar to bourbon and y'all. When I started, it was with the Whiskey Tribe and the single malt, and
Yeah.
right around that time we were like Nat found us a cruise to go around the UK, and that's when actually I fell in love with single malt as just like I fell in love with bourbon because of the podcast and the community, being a whiskey lover in Scotland is something that you should all experience, because I had some of the coolest experiences when they realize that you're a whiskey. It's just like Kentucky and bourbon. They're so proud of it that when they find a fan, you are family. I mean, it's just like around. I mean, and I'm not going to knock the culture in America, but it's kind of sometimes Scotch in America gets a bad note because it's perceived as more sophisticated. So you
Hoity-toity.
get kind of more of the kind of a snobby aspect. But in Scotland, it's not so at all. It's very down home. Like, I had several. If it's matter of fact, my favorite story, I'll just tell real quickly. For some reason, this cruise landed on Orkney Island, which is the home of Highland Park, which is one of my favorites. And the island itself is home to like 2,000 people and 6,000 sheep. And so when the cruise landed,
I feel like there's a joke there. But...
I mean, all the transportation, all the tours were booked, but I had to go anyway just to see the distillery. We get to the distillery, of course it's booked, but they said we could sit for the introduction video and all that fun stuff. So we sat, and shocker, I sat and rambled all the way through it, just talking about Highland Park.
To the Highland Park employees?
To Nat with the Highland Park employees listening. And then after that, we start going to the gift shop and buying up the entire place. And the hostess at the front comes and grabs me on the shoulder, taps me on the shoulder, and kind of motions to come back with her. So Nat and I go back into the employee break room with the hostess.
What are you doing in the break room?
No, seriously. We sat in the break room. She just said, well, we know you're a fan. Have you tried, at the time it was Valkyrie, which is the new big thing. No, she opens up this cabinet that has everything they make and just starts pouring. So Nat and I are sitting in the break room with a bunch of Highland Park employees just drinking and having a great time.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And that's just one of the many stories. Once they find out you're into it, I mean, they just roll through that carpet, and it's so great.
Cool.
Anyway, that's why I fell in love with that.
I like it. We got Eric, the whiskey mutant, in the house, and we got Tommy D. Eric had I've heard it's a banger of a podcast with Perry. I haven't listened to it yet. That's going to be my car ride tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, check that out. This is my bourbon podcast and podcast, not pop. Anyways, and Eric's on there, Whiskey Mutant. Check his Instagram out too to pair some food with stuff. We had him on, and we should do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Troy liked that.
Yeah,
that was a good one. So Troy, you've not liked any Scotch, right?
Well, I wanted to ask the guys, or maybe even like, I'm not like I would love to go to Scotland. I think that's my kind of, I would love the landscape of it and that, but if I was to try Scotch, what would I don't know enough about it to even know where to start. So can you give me a couple, it's going to be pretty mild.
I pulled this off the shelf. Now it changes things. If you just don't like malt, like the flavor of malt, it's going to be rough,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's plenty of beautiful single malts that aren't peaty or smoky. As a matter of fact, this one I found this was actually recommended by Casey and Corey. This Johnny Walker High Rye.
That's good.
Blended single malt. They're blended Scotch, excuse me.
Here, hold that up again.
And there you go.
Awesome.
And this is a really good place to start because it's very familiar. It almost tastes like a 4-grain because it doesn't have a lot of the corn sweetness, but the rye and it's just very, very easy. And then if you go to if you want like a nice Scotch that's really easy, go to any of the Speyside. Speyside is a region that's the largest producer of Scotch, and there's very easy. There's rarely any peat in any of them. Like the Glenfiddichs and the Glenlivets, they're all like
Yeah,
big fans of.
I don't like
One of
those.
my favorites
Oh,
is
Glenlivet.
Glenfarclas.
Glenfarclas?
Most of the Glens are somewhere in Speyside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Schlitz hat.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But that's
So-
where I would start.
You might be surprised to know that I watch a lot of the Scotch test dummies. So
Oh yeah.
I don't drink Scotch, but I am familiar with a lot of the names and brands, and
Yeah.
I just don't buy it.
I probably would stay away, to be honest, if I were you. It's a lot of money you don't need to spend, and you know you like bourbon.
Okay,
Um,
trying to
but-
fit in. I want to be a cool kid.
yeah, but one that I would try is the classic Laddie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bricklotic or Bricklotti or whatever it is.
Bricklotti.
It's a baby blue bottle. You'll hate buying it. It's definitely not a Troy looking bottle.
No.
But it's a really just clean, easy malt that's not too malty, I feel. So it's a good one. But
Yeah. I'll bring one back for you next year.
yeah, you got a hefty trip coming up, don't you?
Absolutely.
The
Ty
answer
says
is yes.
can't be on, but one of these days Troy's gonna drink a ton of scotch for sure. Troy will drink
Yeah.
anything, right?
I'll drink a ton of anything. Yeah, for science.
For science.
And yeah. And you get some of the finished scotches that are really nice.
Check out that
I like
hat.
that.
Eric
If you
says.
don't like that,
Eric's on.
Oh.
Nice.
Tommy D. Yeah, we got a bunch of people watching. This is great.
we just want to get on and give you a hard time, Troy.
Yeah.
We know-
Yeah, I would try it. I think that would be a fun episode. I always thought it would be fun to have a couple of you guys that like Scotch on, having us that don't like it try it. But I'm
Absolutely.
realizing that I'm about the only guy on here. I don't know about Corey and Ty.
I don't
I think
Corey-
Corey's no.
Yeah, Corey's similar to you.
Corey's
I think
definitely
Okay,
yeah,
well, there you go.
That'd be fun.
Well, that's why we did this, so we can gang up on you, Troy. So you can't pick on Clint like you do at bar night at home.
Oh yeah.
Always feel bad about that because I love Clint. And he's just so nice, but I just think it's funny because he's so nice to pick on him. But maybe I just probably come off like an ass all the time. But to me, that's funny. But
That's why I let you do it.
Well, Clint and I are very similar in the fact that, and that's one of the reasons I really don't throw any of the regions out because I just like stuff that's new and fun and different, and
Yeah,
Like
I just think
Loki.
I'm lucky. I like so
Yeah.
much stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's fun that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any limits. I like
I don't have a profile that I'm in love with
plus,
on the day.
Clint, you still brew a lot of beer, or is that something you're still into?
I'll start up again now that the heat's let up a little bit. It gets awful hot in the garage in the summertime here, so
Yeah,
about to fire that up again.
that's a one other thing too.
Yeah, that's fun. That's especially for like people like us that like to geek out on things and kind of dive into stuff and try things and experiment. It's a fun, cheap thing to do. And it's easy. Well, it can be super easy or it can be super complicated and anywhere in between, depending on how
What
much
you want to get into?
it.
Yeah. What got you into that, Clint?
I don't know. The first time I did it was way back when, like early 90s was the first time I did it. And I had a cousin. We were both kind of into trying new weird beer. And there was a homebrew supply store by the house. And we just went in one day and let's see if we can make beer. And we went and got a little starter kit thing, which is the easiest way to do it. Throw some, it's all pre-ready to go, and you boil it up and make beer, and it's a disaster usually. But that was just kind of like, well, this is really fun. That doesn't taste all that bad, and just started doing it.
Especially after
And-
4. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just did it for a lot of years, and then the kids started getting older, things like that. I got real busy. Weekends were gone, and I quit doing it. And then when my boys got older again, I had to start brewing beer again, and something we all can do together. And I started up again, and now I, like most habits, I just fell right into it, and now it's not out of control, but a little overboard.
Don't you have some sort of like multi-tap system in your garage, like a big freezer or fridge that you use?
Yeah, you convert it like a chest freezer, big chest freezer. You can buy a regulator that controls its thermostat so it doesn't actually freeze. And then it's wired up. There's 4 taps on it. And you kind of wire up a CO2 system inside it. And then you use like 5-gallon like soda kegs.
Okay.
Use those. So like it holds 4 kegs and there's 4 taps on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And that's a home bar.
It gets a little out of hand. But,
Yeah.
because typically you bottle. Typically you're putting them in bottles. And that's a pain in the neck. It just, you spill all over the kitchen and you have to seal them up and put them in your closet or something and wait to let them carbonate. And you never know if you did it wrong and you make little bombs instead of beer. And it's just a hassle. And then so the next step out of that is to go to kegs. And that's just so much easier.
And you just have to drink it faster.
And you drink it faster.
Yeah.
The problem with making that much beer is it's hard to drink that much beer. I mean, 5 gallons of beer is a lot. And when there's like 2 people drinking out of it or 3 people drinking out of it, it can take a while. But now I'll make root beer. Karen likes cider, so I'll make cider. So there'll be a keg of cider and a keg of root beer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
I have an interesting relationship with beer. I actually, just like with malt, I love malt flavor. I love malty, heavy beer, but I do not like, very sensitive to bitters. So I don't like hops at all. That's why I've really been on this big sour beer kick lately.
I can't do those.
Mm.
I cannot.
I love them.
Oh my God.
I understand they're weird, and I don't blame anyone for not drinking them, but
I can't do them
I
either.
love it because it's malty and it's sour and it's no hops. So, like, I'm a sub 10 IBU.
Oh,
God, I don't like anything. I don't like bitterness units. I just it's one of the reasons I stopped. I don't really drink a lot of bourbon cocktails. I just stick with the bourbon because of the bitterness.
Huh.
So it is what it is.
Eric, I don't have a name for the brewery. I only have a name for the bar.
the bar. And what have we gone over that? What is it in full?
It's I don't know if you can see.
Here, let me
probably
let me
not.
pull you up on.
It says Bebo's Hooch and Shoot.
There we go.
And-
Bebo's Hooch and Shoot.
Bebo is what my first grandchild called me. And we have no idea what it actually meant, but she started calling me Bebo and then it stuck. So now
That's
everybody
cool.
calls me Bebo. And then Hooch and Shoot, I used to have all the whiskey by like the game room. We have a pool table and stuff in there. So it was Hooch and Shoot. So it just turned into Bebo's Hooch and Shoot. So that's my bar.
I love it.
That's
great.
funny how names like that stick. My sister called my grandpa Poco.
Oh yeah.
So that's what, she called him that all forever.
That's
Huh.
yeah, I mean, she was so young, we have no idea what she was trying to say. But as soon as everybody else in the house heard her say it, like, oh, that's it. So now it's stuck. So the kids call me that a lot. And it is what it is now.
Jared, when he was younger, he used to call me. Well, he still. It's funny. It's like you were saying. He called me Papa Jimmy, like, and he still to this day. What's up, Papa Jimmy? So,
Hey,
I don't know
why
where it
not?
came from, but it's stuck, and I like it.
Yeah, it was funny at first, but then it stuck,
Yeah.
and now I mean, it's my grandpa name, so I love it, So and now all the other the next one down, he's just starting to talk pretty well. He's kind of saying it now, so it's just going to keep going,
Oh, that's cool.
which is great. I'm all for it.
I can't wait for my grandpa name. We just had the baby shower this weekend, so February rolls around. We'll see. Well, probably
Yeah.
the summer next year rolls around.
That's awesome.
Maybe we'll have Clint on to do a teaching with Clint episode on how to be a grandfather.
Pop survival guide.
Yeah.
I'm getting. I mean, I'm getting pretty good. I mean, I've got 3 and another one due in 2 weeks. So they just keep
wow.
coming.
I think that's
It's-
a whole different game than fatherhood, right? I mean, it's a little, all the
That's
perks and less of
completely-
the cons, hopefully.
Yeah, completely different thing. All of it is completely different. Everything that people have always said about, well, just wait till you're a grandpa, just wait till you have grandkids, and you're younger. Yeah, whatever. All of that's true. It's just the best thing.
Yeah.
You're way out of my league right now. I definitely feel young. This is good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Ian, you and I are too young. We don't know what they're talking
I
about. But yeah,
completely agree.
one
Oh,
day.
Well, it's funny because their mom and I were high school sweethearts. We got married really young, and we, after the divorce on both sides, we still hounded the anti high school premarital thing. So that was our biggest nightmare. Is they were gonna one of our kids is gonna be like us and start their family at 17, and I think we hounded on it so much that I think I broke them. Because my daughter, that's my first grandchild, she's the baby and she's 27. So, and then my two boys are 31 and 33, and so that's a pretty good run with no grandkids. But I'm at the point where I'm ready for them.
That's good because it's coming fast.
Yeah.
We did the same thing. We were dating in high school. We got married young, but now all three of our kids, well, two are married, one's engaged, but they all will have gotten married young. So they all followed suit.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, apparently.
I guess not.
Oh, hey, that's a callback, not a callback, a throw too. Grease and ADHD whiskey are doing a live thing tonight too.
Oh,
so
Yeah, I hope we're not hurting their ratings too much.
I hope so.
I'm sure it'll be all right.
Right now, Grease is like, I wonder why nobody's watching. Dang nabbit.
I'm sure they're doing just fine. It's Dad Gummit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have a sticker somewhere. Oh, we got somebody calling you out. I said that for you guys.
Yeah. You told them I did my job.
Yeah. That I'm a fair ways from that. I had a sick kid last night. So my wife's a nurse and works a fair bit of night shifts, and she's not around all the time. And my youngest daughter woke up in the middle of the night. I hadn't even gotten to bed yet, and just coughing that dry, like nasty cough, that like tonsil-ish cough. And I go to the room and I'm like, check in on her, and she's just crying and not happy. She's like, my cough got stuck in my throat, Dad. My cough got stuck in my throat. And I was like, oh, I think that's your throat just hurting. And she's like, I need Mom. And it was the first time in 6 years that my wife has worked that my daughter needed their mother when I was there. So it was kind of like like I failed, I've failed as a dad, but it was also kind of nice because, their mom's special to them. So, but yeah, that's I'm at the different stage. I'm just trying to be a young dad. They're 6 and 4 and challenging the heck out of me and all that stuff. So
enjoy the time where you're still their hero. I mean, they'll always love you and they'll always look up to you.
I don't know if I'm the hero.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Man, that 6-year-old has some sass already. She can throw it around pretty well. Yeah.
You're probably not looking for solutions for last night, but what might have helped was like that cough, a little bit of whiskey.
My wife wasn't there. I could have just. I'm not going to say it's on air. Conway says, talk about a kick in the nuts. It was, and Tommy D's laughing at me saying, just wait. Yeah. That's where we're at. Troy wins. What does Troy win? What does Troy win, Ty?
Nice.
He didn't even do anything. How can he win? What happened?
I don't know. If I knew it was a contest, I'd have tried harder.
And if you haven't watched the live that Troy and I were on a couple weeks ago, that was a fun one too. It was just Troy and I. Everybody else was it was pretty busy, but best advice with the whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Troy wins for sure.
As far as that live, I may have peaked too early on that. I peaked about 45 minutes before the show started.
I thought it was a lot of fun, and anybody that's been in the podcasters or whatnot, I've just heard hilarious things about it.
So. Oh, absolutely. Oh,
James
Oh,
trying to
Oh,
get
now you're going to make him dry.
Now he's just sucking up.
He's going for the brownie points. There's
He
something
wants
else. Yeah,
something.
he's like,
He
oh,
wants something.
I got my shot. I'm gonna take it.
Oh.
I like it.
No, I had true FOMO. I was watching. I was at work. I got to the point where I was halfway debating, like sneaking out to my car, taking my lunch break, and jumping on with y'all because we were having so much fun. I just
He
went
was.
out the way.
It was
It
on
was
your
fun.
behalf, I think, most of it though. Like he was ripping on you pretty good.
No.
I was ripping on him.
You don't remember, do you?
No, I don't remember what. No, I just.
No,
The only thing I really remember was saying I wish I was less drunk.
we were
No,
talking
not
about Jason's stylist.
Yeah.
Oh well, he was on for that one, right?
No.
No, I
Well,
was on.
we-
I was typing in.
Yeah, but you
so
definitely,
the week, okay, it was like the week after I was still okay.
yeah, you were you were going hard on Jason.
I'm sorry.
All good. Oh,
Yeah.
I got big shoulders. I can take
See,
it.
Clint, it's not just you. I'm an ass to everybody.
No, I'm sorry I wasn't there, Jason, for a little backup reflection.
That was a fun one.
No.
Well, football started, and
Oh, yeah.
we are in a draft together. Jason, how did that draft go?
Let me see here.
For everyone but me, it was wonderful.
No,
Jason's
organized the league, and
Okay.
the organizer of the whatever.
I'm not
you
making
call it.
excuses, but I'm going to make excuses. It's not excuses. It's just the way it is. I am so bad at when I'm organizing as a commissioner and in that situation and on Zoom. I'm so worried about everyone else having a good time that I kind of forget what I'm doing. And I know it's a surprise to everyone, but focus is an issue of mine. And it didn't help that I was running late for the draft. So coming from work, ran in, had like 5 minutes to spare. We were Zoom calling. So I was on the computer. I was trying to use the phone app. First time using the phone app. And of course, I got peer pressured into drinking something, which I grabbed the first thing to celebrate. It was Stag Junior. And I got 2 glasses into Stag Junior, realized that I hadn't had dinner yet.
Oh,
yeah, food's optional.
So,
You can eat after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I thought so.
sounds solid.
So safe to say I held out pretty good till like the 5th round, and then I literally screwed the pooch. I couldn't get the app to work, and I auto-picked 2 horrible picks.
Yeah, there was a period where he just could not internet anymore.
yeah.
I couldn't internet, yeah.
You
And
picked-
it's
you
a
picked defense pretty
16
early.
If anybody's into oh yeah. Oh. So I screwed up a pick, and the whole time I'm bitching and moaning and yelling at everybody on Zoom, cussing and commiserating, I forgot that when you get dropped out of a pick, they automatically throw you on auto draft. So I don't remember the player I took, but it wasn't the one I wanted. And the whole time I'm bitching and moaning to these fine gentlemen, my pick comes up again, and I was on auto draft, so I got a defense in the 6th round. And it wasn't even a defense I like. I hate San Francisco.
So, because you did that, I was like, oh, now's the time to pick defense. And I picked defense right after you because I know nothing about football.
You started a trend.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, Jason's picking defense. Perfect. This is when we do it. I'll take this one. And apparently that wasn't the play. But
It'll be
I gotta look and see how many points did you get.
Nate's
Hey,
here.
Nathan.
How's it going, dude?
I was
And Eric Greenway throwing some shade already.
Hey,
Well,
you
I
wanna hear
guess,
the-
guess so. This sounds like laying the groundwork for a poor showing
Yeah.
this year.
I didn't think of that. I would like to say that during the draft, I was also drunk and probably asleep. And did I tell you, I don't know. I'm just saying, I think I'm in last place. So
Are you?
I'm in 2 leagues, and I think I'm darn near in last place in both of them right now.
Well,
yeah.
I was in last year, and they don't send you anything, so it's all good. You don't have to.
Yeah,
you don't have to
I've-
bring bad samples or anything.
I
like
screwed
that.
a hooch on that one.
Yeah, we
Screwed
need
the
to
pooch.
make sure that happens.
And the fun thing about this league we're talking about, it's with the podcaster guys, and we have a buy-in, but everybody sends me the cash, and then I actually go out and buy special bottles for trophy bottles.
They've been
So,
good bottles
last year
too.
we
They've
did
been
last year the two prizes were Rhetoric 12 and Kentucky Owl Batch 4.
Rhetoric 20
Rhetoric
something.
12, Rhetoric 24,
Yeah.
and then Kentucky Owl.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I think
Red Batch 4.
Nat must have had a good week last week.
She won all of her leagues, and she can't let me stop. She won't let me live it down.
Good job, Nat. Good job, Nat. Yeah, I know nothing about football. That worked out well for me the first year, and I won one of the. We had 2 different leagues, and I won that, so that was good. And then I went from first to last with last year, and just
Which
sucked.
I'm really disappointed that nobody sent you anything crappy.
Yeah, I'm okay with
that's,
it.
That's
I'll have
that's the other punishment. Last place punishment has to drink whatever we send them.
Yeah,
I always said the same thing.
Oh, I had to drink. I was last the year before, and I drank it.
I sent
guys
you
were
something.
really nice enough to send me shit.
I sent you 4 ounces. Yeah,
Yeah.
What was it?
Black velvet.
Yeah, he
Oh,
sent me Black Velvet. Ian sent me a wonderful blend of, was it Crown Apple and Ardbeg?
no, it was
Ooh.
Ardbeg, and then I had a Jim Beam multi-pack that somebody gave me, like the apple and honey. So I put the honey and apple with the Ardbeg and then something else, Alberta Premium or something like that. It smelled pretty good on the nose, but then once you got on the palate, it was terrible.
Yikes.
And I remember Clint sent me his favorite Harbinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Texas whiskey for you.
Yeah. You did that on a Zoom call too. That was fun.
I've been saving
not the first year, but a few years back. First year I did it, I somehow won. That'll never happen again. But I won a Kentucky Owl bottle, and Casey delivered it, but he brought it to Whiskey Weekend Batch 2. So we were at Beaumont. So I was able to get the bottle from him there and then have Dixon sign it. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Oh,
that's what I did last year. Because last year was Andrew West and Joe Stout won.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I sent those.
So Dixon has a podcast apparently.
Yes, I don't think it's out yet. I think they're recording, but it's not.
Is that what it is? I saw a picture and I was like, oh, Dixon, I'll listen to him talk all day long. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah. I searched for it a while back and couldn't find it. So I don't think that's actually out yet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Do you know when this new whiskey is going to be released? Or does anybody know yet?
On Instagram, he hasn't said yet. All he keeps saying is soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
it's starting to piss me off.
It's mean. I know.
Yeah.
I think it's called marketing.
Yeah. Just send it to the house and I'll drink it. I'll let you know.
I'll be your taste tester.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to get Nat to text him and weasel her little tasting notes in there.
Yeah. That was fun when Nat was on with us and we did the tasting notes. That was great. I gotta try and again, planning isn't my best or my strong suit, but I gotta get a blind set up so that we can get everybody on with Nat and she can smoke us all. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was for Ty. That. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I laugh every time I hear one of those.
Yeah. Anyways. So what about adjust the tip? I feel like we might have some insightful ones today. Do we have any insightful just the tips?
I'll tell you, I knew that I was going to have to come up with one, so I was trying to figure out what it was, and it's kind of funny because we already talked about it. But I thought I'm going to say home brewing, and I'm going to talk about how it's fun and just for people, like I already said, people like us that like to tear apart and tinker and analyze and geek out. So I already gave mine.
All right. Well, let's dissect that a little bit. If you were giving somebody a grocery list to buy the stuff to make or start a homebrew session, what would you get into? You said there's the kit, but do you need anything extra? Do you need,
That's the easiest way. Like there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it with malt extract. So it's just like syrup and hops. And that's kind of all you need.
All right.
Even the non-hoppy beer has hops in it. So you have to use the hops. or you can do. So there's 3 ways. All extracts, so it's basically a can of syrup and some hops, and that's pretty much it. You can do a mixture where it's some of that can of syrup and then some actual grains that you would steep the grains like you're steeping tea,
Okay.
and you do both. Or you can go to all grain, which is what everybody ends up doing once you get into it. And there's no more of the syrup. It's just you get 10, 12, depends on how many pounds of grain that a recipe calls for. And then you're basically steeping a giant bag of grain. So if you want to start and just try it, you go to a store or online that sells brew kits.
Cool.
And it's not as much fun once you've tried the grain kind because there's more steps and stuff. But to just make some simple beer and show that, hey, this is pretty good stuff, you get one of those kits and give it a shot. It takes a few hours to make it, then it takes a few weeks to sit in the bottles and do its thing. A month later, you've got 2 cases of beer that you made.
Cool.
That's what I wanted to ask. Like, what kind of time frame are we looking at? From like, is it like 3 days or 5 hours to make a batch of beer?
It takes about, if you're doing the all grain way, it takes about 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours from the very start to when you cleaned up the last thing.
Oh,
And then
You
it
wait.
takes, fermenting can take 2 weeks to 6 weeks, say a month, 3 weeks. So a month after you made it, you have drinkable beer.
okay.
Cool. And what would you recommend for the first one? Like a Pilsner, or would you what would you-
Pilsners are hard to do because
Are they?
only because they cold ferment.
Oh,
So, they have to ferment it, in 30s or 40 degree, 50 degree temperature. So you'd have to have a refrigerator or something that you could put it
or
in,
just live here.
or live there.
Yeah.
So usually you it's hard to do Pilsner unless you're set up to do it.
Okay.
So anything else though,
Yeah.
you can make outside of that, any style.
Are you
make
a
it kind of
stout guy?
simple.
Do you like stouts?
I like stout.
Yeah.
And they're fun to make
Are they?
because they've got so much grains. That's why IPAs are fun to make, because
Gotcha.
you're adding all sorts of different types of hops at different times, and it gets more into that geeky science part of it.
Cool.
What you add when and all that kind of stuff. So like making it out of a kit, fun but kind of boring compared to how you could do it.
Yeah.
But you do it once and it's drinkable beer, you're kind of hooked.
I believe you.
And then you end up with, a giant freezer in your garage with taps on it and everything else.
I forgot the banner. So Clint's tip is brew some beer.
Try home brewing. It's
Yeah.
fun. There's never-ending recipes and instructions online, so go for it.
Awesome. What about you, Jason? What do you got?
I am fighting so hard for something. I just didn't do anything.
Collect hats. There you
Collect-
go.
Yeah, look at that hat.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty though?
Express yourself.
You get
There
the
you go.
chain and the pinky ring and the hat. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, actually, this thing's been, I don't know, this is kind of like my collar. Now, I've worn this every day for the last 6 years since Nat bought it for me. This is
Wow.
kind of like my wedding ring. It just never comes off. When I say that, it actually comes off because it's magnetized, so I don't lose it.
But it goes right back on.
But it goes right back on.
So magnetized jewelry. From
Magnetized, absolutely.
Jason. Yeah.
And pinky
Yeah,
rings.
I think,
I like it.
find yourself. Find your flair. Don't be afraid to
Find your flair. I feel like there's a woo
Find-
somewhere in
yeah.
there.
it reminds me of Office Space.
make
I
sure
don't
you
talk about
wear,
my
make
flair.
sure you wear 6 pieces of flair every day.
Yeah.
No, it's easy to say now. It's nice to sound comfortable, but yeah, be comfortable. Actually, my best advice was from my son because I put entirely too much thought into it, especially the brown thing. He thinks I'm weird because I have to match my clothes. He's like, he looks at me and say, "It's today. You can wear anything with anything. Nobody
Socks
cares."
and
if it's
sandals
matched. Nobody
is
cares.
the
You
new
can wear
is the new thing. I don't understand
Find
it.
what you want to wear and
Yeah.
just wear it.
You
Because-
and I had that conversation about your need to match your hat.
Mhm.
And I will say I
my
understood.
watch matches. It's brown.
See, I think we talked about that too, Matt. We got hats and watches because I like watches too. We
Mhm.
talked about your need to batch them, and I'll say I agree, but it is a little excessive.
It is. Oh, I will be the first one that I am. Yeah, I'm excessive. I'll admit it.
But I understand it. So
Like I bought a really cool pair of because y'all are into the. I feel left out in the big Nike shoe game. Like y'all are in the game.
Not all of us. Just
My feet
Yeah, I'm not
don't
either.
fit Nikes very well. But I did find the Air Force Ones that I could wear, and you can actually custom make them. I made a set of custom for my son for his birthday,
Cool.
and I actually found a custom pair. They're not expensive, but they're really cool. They're black and olive green, and then the Nike swoosh is orange. Good luck for me matching that. So I've worn them like 3 times.
I feel like you can do some matching. You got enough.
Yeah.
I did. I actually
stuff
have
going
an
on.
orange Seiko dive watch that
Oh,
matches.
there you go. I was just gonna ask Clint, what's the watch of choice then, or anybody here? What's the watch of choice then?
I don't get into the crazy expensive ones and all that.
Mm-mm.
I like Tommy Bahama watches.
Okay.
I've got a whole bunch of Tommy Bahama watches. You know, I say I'm into watches. I'm not Rolex and Breitling, and
Sure,
of course I
yeah,
love
yeah.
those, but I'm not paying for that stuff.
100%.
Exactly. I would love one.
I like Tommy Bahama watches. I've got quite a few of those. That's my brand of choice, I guess.
Cool.
I would like a dream. I would love a, you know, I say this because I love an Omega Speedmaster would be my dream watch. It's like $3,000 to $7,000.
A new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted a Breitling.
I would love, yeah. And I say that I can't afford it, but then I look at my whiskey shelf, and
Yeah, I could have afforded it. Now I
could
can't.
easily have had one.
see, yeah, but that's not the same. You can't buy a watch in 297 installments over 17 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That's
See,
true.
This one I do love Swiss. Like this is a Glycine, which is a Swiss, which is about the most expensive I paid, and even this one was well under $1,000. But I actually love Seiko. The reason I love Seiko is kind of the reason I love a lot of the stuff I love is watch people get it. They know that Seiko is solid.
Do you like the
best watch for the money?
Yeah.
And so watch people get it. They're flat. They're nice. And I think that's what I got one Whiskey Weekend Batch 3, their 5-year anniversary. I got the guys each of Seiko.
Cool.
Seiko 5. It's an automatic. It's a great mechanical watch that it's not up until now. I'm going to get geeky and I'll stop, but now they're starting to realize their wealth or their value. And so much like bourbon, Seiko's starting to make lines that are much more expensive, and they've kind of priced me out of buying them. So anyway, tip over.
All right. I like the G-Shock.
Love the G-Shock.
Somebody got this one for me, actually. Mr. Newman there. But yeah, I'm not a big watch guy because when I was a kid, I got in a motorcycle accident and I had a watch on, and it broke my wrist when it landed. So since then, I'm like, I don't want a broken wrist, or do I care? And I have a phone in my pocket. But now I'm starting to get into it a little bit more. So the new G-Shocks, like I love that one, but the new G-Shocks, have you seen those? The ads and stuff. Now that I've said that a few times, your phone's going to say, hey, you should see this G-Shock. But yeah, the new ones are great. I really like them. So I'm slowly getting into watches. I have an Apple Watch mainly to try and track calories because I got to lose some, but yeah, that's on there.
Hey,
Kim, great to see you.
And it's just like everything. For me, it's just another fun way to individualize yourself.
Yeah.
Set yourself.
You guys are speaking a language I know nothing about. I don't know anything about any of these watches.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's just the tip then?
Well, this is not near as good as Clint's. I think he set the bar too high, but last weekend
with homemade beer.
well, this past weekend, my son came home. He lives in Columbus, which is a couple hours away, but so he's 24 now, and so anyway, he came home for the weekend, mostly because he had a wedding to go to, not just to see his dad. But anyway, we ended up watching football. We cooked out on the grill and watched football all day. But he has a subscription to the NFL Red Zone. Have you guys ever watched Red Zone?
That's all
I've never watched it before. But so basically what it is just they show every play inside the 20-yard line of every game all day. So at 1:00, this program comes on, and they don't put a commercial on until 7:30 at night. So strap in, because you are locked in. You can't go to the bathroom. You can't leave the TV until football is over for the day, because it's just nonstop all day, just scoring play after scoring play. It's the greatest thing I ever saw.
She's glued. Sundays, matter of fact, she spent the extra money to get it streaming on her phone. So even if she leaves the house, she's still watching it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so
look at that pop.
That was a quality cork pop.
That was a good pop. When it
was a good pop. Yeah.
But it's weird. It takes some getting used to, because they don't, like, the announcers will be in the middle of a story, but they don't give a shit, because they cut to go to the next game. So if you're not paying attention, you're listening to the story, and all of a sudden these other announcers are talking about something else, and nothing makes sense in your head. But it's like the ultimate channel surfer all day long, just working the remote for you all day.
And I could feel Clint's pain. Being a Bears fan, it would be tough to be Red Zone, because they just wouldn't be on very often.
Yeah, the Bears are never on there, Clint. Sorry.
No, that's why I have to pay for the DirecTV football package, so I can see all the Bears games. But I do it. I don't know.
Did you get the commemorative rain hoodie from the last
weekend?
But I can't make fun of the Bears, because we were trying to watch the Browns game while we're watching, and the Browns are never on there either, because evidently we're never in the red zone or something. Even when we were, they didn't put it on. So
we're just not
once in a while, we had to actually turn the channel to the Browns game so we could see what was going on with the Browns.
Yeah. But even Clint and I can still agree that it was fun watching Aaron Rodgers get sacked multiple times.
It's like my Super Bowl. It's the best.
Yeah. So Sunday we just spent the whole day in front of the TV with all kind of stuff we cooked on the grill and stuff, and just hung out here for 7 hours and watched.
What's your favorite grilling food on Sunday?
Oh gosh, I don't know. What did we have last Sunday? Mostly we just did like dips and stuff. Like, it's kind of an impromptu thing, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm a wings guy.
Yeah, I'm a wings guy for sure.
Ever since I learned Corey's secret, I'm a wings guy.
What's Corey's secret?
Oh, you've never? Corey has a really great. It's
the recipe.
Yeah, his recipe.
Several times. They're good.
Yes.
When he came up to visit, he made some for us, and it was.
Thank you for saying that. And what my just the tip is, always be a wings guy. Don't be the boneless guy. I was at the bar the other day with a buddy, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna get some boneless wings," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm like chicken nuggets," and you're gonna get, just say it, you're gonna get chicken nuggets, and he's like, "Oh," so then I was like, the waiter walks up, and I was like, "What do you think of boneless bites?" And the waiter went off. He's like, "Why wouldn't you just buy wings? They're way better anyway," and just totally like slapped the guy that was going to order them. It was really funny. But be that wings person. There's something good with peeling those bones out and whatnot. Flats only, Nat says.
We like flats.
That's Karen's thing. Karen gets flats only. So then what? I just get regular. But if we order them out or to go, if she gets all flats, what they end up doing is putting all her half in mine. So that I don't
get the bullshit in your box. Yeah.
I like the drumsticks though. I'm fine with them.
I think I prefer flats, but I like them both. I have no problem. Yeah.
So I feel like you get more meat on the drumsticks, but that may not be true because the bones are smaller in the flats.
Well, and I agree, but that's what I like. The reason I like wings is the reason I like flats is because they have that long strip of crispy skin.
That's true.
So
now, do you like a rubbed wing or do you like a sauced up wing?
I like a little sauce.
I'm a saucy on everything. For me, 90% of food is just a vehicle for some kind of sauce. So I love.
See, I'm like a Cajun rub guy. I like that.
See, I'm like a hot buffalo. Like buffalo hot is my
Gotcha.
jam.
I love the habanero. My favorite is the habanero. Anything habanero, mango habanero.
Ugh, I'm a pansy.
Love it.
No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, maybe that's why I like the rubs. They're never too spicy. But sweet. Well, fellas, we pulled off an hour. Thanks to Clint. And we drank scotch with Troy, even though
Just long
he's-
enough to kill this bottle. Clint.
Oh,
There you
bottle
go.
kill tonight too. I think that might be Troy's thing. Every
Smart.
every stream you have to kill a bottle.
Now I gotta start looking at shit. Yeah, I have to start planning. Might take some pre-drinking. You know what I mean? Get them down there. Where we
Yeah,
can get 'em.
well, you know, you got
Yeah.
your boys to help you with that.
Yep.
So,
I'm still recovering from
Eric's
Sunday.
throwing this out. Crispy wings,
I
extra
agree.
sauce.
Agree.
That
Yeah,
no,
there
I'm
you go,
down
Eric.
with that. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
And the grease is jumping in. I
Hey,
doubt that grease. I'm sure it was a blast, and I look forward to going back and watching it.
absolutely. Love you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, Jason, you want to throw the ending for this? Oh, hold up, Troy. What mac and cheese pairs best with Wild Turkey 101?
Is Grease asking that?
Yeah, that's got to be grease.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say with Wild Turkey 101, you definitely want like some sort of shells and cheese kind of thing. You don't want to just go elbow macaroni with that shit. You need to cheese it up.
agreed.
That's a good
Interesting.
call.
I didn't realize there was more like types of mac and cheese.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know, there for a while we were buying like Aldi brand mac and cheese, and then they changed their brand, and all of a sudden that wasn't good enough. So we're off the Aldi. You know what I mean? We're
Okay.
going full craft at minimum now at our house.
Fancy.
Full
Oh, I
craft.
make mine from scratch. You just got to.
Oh, Jason, gosh dang it. What is wrong with you?
It's
I mean,
not
no
that
one
hard.
makes
You just-
homemade mac and cheese.
I make
just
my own
make a white
pasta.
Butter and flour. You make a little bechamel, and then you throw a crap ton of cheese in it. It's great.
Do you make your own noodle first, or do you actually buy
No.
a macaroni? Okay.
I do buy-
well,
Do you buy
Actually,
the
I
fresh
usually
noodles
go penny.
though?
You get more cheese
Penny,
sticks
yeah.
to penny a lot more, so we usually use penny
I get
pasta.
that. I get that.
So you're not making your own pasta. So it's not totally homemade.
Not a totally,
No.
yeah.
Hey,
Just
Clint, did you see the whole episode where he's talking about his stylist and his massage therapist and all that? It's unbelievable with this guy. The
Yeah,
pinky
it's
rings
not
and the hat. I can't. It's too much.
It is.
Teases off the LD.
I am in full blown midlife
I'm
crisis
sorry.
mode. Not embarrassed
I
to
told
say
you
it, even though it's more like 3/4 life crisis. That's my wife that's talking right there.
About
Yeah.
you. She loves you.
Hey,
though.
Nate,
She loves
Nat, you're right. He is
Yeah.
bougie.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Jason, you want to do the ending?
I don't know. Let me call my stylist and see if it's okay.
Well played. Well
You're
played.
wearing a pinky ring. You don't need permission to do anything.
Yeah, you're a boss.
Exactly. Kiss the ring. I forgot. I cannot.
Yeah.
Before we
forgot
go, I would like to thank Clint for being on
Yes.
here because
Yes.
I promised a special guest tonight, and he saved our bacon.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's yeah, everyone should know that I was the second choice, but I'll take it. I don't care.
it. Uh-oh. Grease just got here. Well, you want to jump on?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
throw
go
grease in
ahead.
here. Throw 'em a link. We ain't got any ADHDs, but
oh, I have tons of ADHD.
Yeah.
I forget my own name half the time.
He won't drink scotch either, though.
He's got some really good scotch there.
Grease does.
Yeah.
He won't drink it.
I have a special drink for him I want to send him. It's that Floki. He has to try Floki. If he'll try Beaver Butt, you got to try Floki.
Floki.
Oh,
And you'll
I
love
have a
this
story about that beaver butt bottle he's got sometime. I can tell you guys.
Yeah.
Floki
Go ahead.
is an Icelandic
Okay.
single malt.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And it's
This may not
peated-
be a good story, so I'll keep it short. So my friend
Sure you
JJ,
can get it.
who you guys have all met, has a rich uncle who has like an estate in Pennsylvania, and he has a cabin called Castorium or whatever it's called. It's like a beaver-based
Okay.
cabin, and all JJ wants to do is buy the empty bottle of that stupid beaver butt bourbon from Grease to give to his uncle. And Grease for like 3 years has told JJ to pound salt. Every time hey, can we buy an empty bottle? Tell JJ to go to hell. And he won't even entertain it. So yeah.
Why doesn't JJ just buy the bottle of bourbon?
Yeah, I don't know if they quit. I don't know. JJ's, he's a lawyer, but he's not that smart. I don't know. But
Troy's been drinking.
But this uncle of JJ's was like the ambassador to Norway for President Bush. He's a big deal. He's
Okay.
Yeah.
But into Beavers.
All we want is an empty bottle of whiskey.
Jason, not
Grease
even
has
a
got
jump
the whiskey.
clap there. That was solid.
And quit saying beaver. Don't make it dirty. Don't make it dirty. Beavers are a noble animal.
It's my national animal.
A noble animal.
Yeah, something like that. It's on our currency.
Oh, that's true.
So I guess Grease isn't getting on, is he?
No, he said going to a studio.
Patio,
I think that's
studio.
studio. We'll
No.
see. We'll give him a few more minutes and see what's
Okay.
up. You
I'm
can
betting
talk.
if we do get him on 50-50, he goes shirtless.
Oh, he tried to get me shirtless last week.
Yeah, what happened? You could have pulled the trigger.
I'm not the shirtless type. Andrew West saved the day.
Andrew stepped in and saved. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was glorious.
So my Dave showed up at randomly, which was fun last week. He just
You
came
guys
down
had
the
a hell of a
stairs.
show.
That was great.
He's a good guy, but my wife doesn't like the AC on, and it was hot last week, but like super humid. So she's leaving the windows open. I think it's just breeze and all that stuff. But down in the basement it was like a sauna. So she came down while we were on, and she's like, "It's so hot down here. There's no way that shirt was not coming off. It was like glued to me. That's how sticky it was down here." And so finally the AC went on after, but that was fun. That was a super surprise, though. That was a good
That'd
time.
be like a deal breaker.
Yeah, our AC is running 9 months of the year, probably.
Yeah, but you live not where I live.
And again, it rarely turns off. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it cool. I just like consistent, and she's all about a breeze through the house, so it's like opening and closing the windows all the time. But
I wish we could. I wish we could open the windows. That would be great.
yeah, but
It's
what's the temperature
Today it was 92 in the house or outside.
outside?
Today it was 92.
Okay,
What kind of humidity you running down there?
It's super high. Like the dew point is in the 70s, which is
That's
swamp.
no good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
awful.
can't take that shit.
Yeah, no,
that's
why we can't
what it
open the
is for
windows.
you, isn't it, Troy?
It's humid up here too. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just, like Arizona is like low humidity. I thought maybe Houston was the same deal, but no.
No, it's a swamp.
We're really low,
It's
we're high
like
desert,
New
so-
Orleans is just swampy.
When you take your underwear off and throw them on the floor, they shouldn't make like a,
Yeah,
they shouldn't make
they shouldn't slap. Yeah.
No.
Look at that,
Man, I got
There
here
he is.
just in time to talk about the tip.
Yes.
What's your
You
tip?
got just tips?
What's the tip
The
for
whole
tonight?
thing.
Well, I thought I was done, and then y'all were on, and then now I'm back down here.
Oh.
I had everything shut down, so I had to read.
Oh,
But I'm so glad because I kind of wasn't done drinking, and then I went upstairs and I was like, "What do I do right now? What do I do?"
And
come
what are
hang
you
out with
drinking?
So this is that 15-year Samurai
Oh,
bottle. Yeah, crazy. Only 650 of these things. So it's 102 proof, 15-year-old MGP. No, it's not. It's Beam.
Is it?
Beam.
You guys just reviewed that on a video.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's Beam.
I feel like I'm a bigger Beam fan than most of you guys.
I think you are
I'm
too.
a fan of Beam.
I'm a
Dude, I like Beam. This is definitely not on Beam profile.
No?
No. Let me hit it again. I'm going to hit it
Oh.
again.
Reese has got his darn old dadgummit shirt on, man. I had that on the other day.
Well, and since we were on the single malt earlier, I'm a big fan of the Suntory side of Beam too. I love Japanese
Yeah.
Suntory.
That's something I'm not going to walk down. That's too expensive. Don't want to try it.
This is a WOW bottle. Like it is WOW, but it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's not $300 WOW. But man, it's got a lot going on. It's like if Beam had some pear notes. It's like a softer, fruitier Beam, which you don't get that at all on standard Beam. But
What's your favorite Beam, Troy? Booker's?
I'm a Booker's guy. Yeah.
You love the Booker's.
Although the last 2 or 3 years have been rough, but yeah, I'm still waiting for another good one to come out. I think its latest one was pretty good, but I haven't found one yet. Batch two.
I'll be honest. I actually like a lot of the Bakers. I'm a big fan of Bakers, actually.
Yeah, Baker's has been my favorite. I thought I would like it, but I've got a couple. But yeah,
The new ones?
I had 1 or 2 new ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I say
that.
Booker's is my favorite, but I've drank 2,000 Knob Creeks in my life, so I probably Knob Creek's my jam. To tell you the truth, but yeah, I still like to say I'm a Booker's guy.
I was able to snag one of the 13-year-old Bakers from 2019. It was just here at the liquor store. It's just been sitting here waiting for one of y'all to show up so we can crack it open.
Nice.
13, that's an old one.
Yeah.
Ian, I don't know if you remember, but Jason gave me a new Baker's.
Do you remember?
Front steps of the Beaumont.
Yeah. Jason was like Santa Claus that day.
Yeah.
That one's all gone. But
how many years was it?
That was batch 2.
It was right when the batches. It's right when they switched to the new packaging. It's the brand new. It was the first batch in the new packaging.
That was 2020. That was when COVID.
Yeah. Okay, so the 107 proof.
Yeah.
Because that was it was batch 2, and we had done the Suburban, and we did the run, and like I said, I have ADD, so we just bought everything, and then when it went to pack, when I sat there for like 2 hours trying to pack everything, and I always came out with like 4 bottles that I couldn't fit, and I didn't know what to do with them. Like, do I leave them as a tip? And then I hear Troy and Ian down there getting ready to go, so I threw them all in a bag, and I go bounded down the stairs and say, Troy, you got room in your car? Here you go.
You know what it was, Grease? The day before, Jason and Clint and Ian and Dustin and all the girls went bourbon hunting all day and left my ass at the end by myself, and he just felt guilty.
That's true. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that.
I mean, were you asleep, Troy, or were you like wide awake and you're like, "Where are y'all going?" And they said,
"Yeah, I was the wide awake." And he just left me there, and I just stayed around the inn and drank. I had lunch with Jennifer Campbell and her husband, and it was a nice day. But I'm just saying they left me.
I'm telling you, that's my favorite. We set aside money to get the Suburban, just because I think everybody in here has a Suburban story, and that's my favorite.
Oh,
one of my favorite parts of Whiskey Weekend.
Dude, yeah, he always has room for like 9 of us.
Just one day, I hope to actually get in the Suburban. I've never actually been in it, but one day, maybe.
This year's Suburban story was a little interesting. With a train involved and all that stuff.
That's the one.
So this is a cool 107 version, Jason. This is an 11-year, 8-month single barrel pick. They did like the exclusively selected, like they did it in these boxes. Cool. Yeah, super.
Yeah,
cool.
I remember those.
Box, but I have
missed out on that.
No, I just lucked out.
And then I have.
Oh, that's the one I have.
The 13.
But I didn't get the box though.
You have the 13?
I have the 13, but I don't have the box.
Okay, good. You get to tell. Actually, you know what? I've had it. But this is golly, this thing is super cool. I mean, guys,
and I'll be the first.
Baker's packaging, like Jason's 100% right.
I like it a lot,
dude. This stuff is just sick.
I don't want to sound dirty, but I'm a sucker for anything in a box.
You got
that's why you love Bookers.
Yeah.
Little book, anything.
I like the little
limited.
Books.
Yeah. You know what? I've liked the little books.
I had that batch 3, the one that was like 10-year-old Bakers and Basil Hayden's, and that was a good one.
I haven't opened.
That's the only one I ever had.
I have it here. I have batch 2 open, which was interesting. That was the 40-year-old. That Jason had that last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Nat's asking, have any of you guys
Oh,
had
yeah.
the Virginia Distillery Courage and Conviction Sous Vide? Is that how you say that?
Cuvée.
Cuvée American whiskey. I have not
not.
seen that.
I've never had any Virginia distillery. I've seen them, but I've never had them.
Here's the deal. That rings a bell. I have no idea if I've had it though.
Maybe from this dude.
Oh, Craig Puckett. Yeah, so Craig
He's got a
Puckett,
real nice.
he was the
Is that one of your
driver
boys?
for me at Pours in the Park.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was in
he
your
wasn't
ride or
a
die
driver
crew?
for me. No, like I just told the story about that. It was like this, me and 3 other guys, and we called ourselves Ride or Die. I'd never met any of them except for Craig over the internet prior, and it was a blast. It was great. Anyway, one of the guys in there was like, "Hey man, like why are you like what's your story, man? Where are you from? Why are you here? Like what do you like the Junkies or whatever?" And I was like, "I do.
The Junkies.
I do. I love them. I do." Guys, I'm gonna release this for the first time ever on any show right now. Okay, this is a Flannel Panel exclusive.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm kind of. I think Sean's funnier than Dan.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
I'm Team Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I'm on a text thread. And let me go ahead and tell you what's not funny. Dan on a text thread. Dan's like the worst.
Figure it out. You know what I mean?
Like Sean literally will go silent for 30 minutes and like I asked him to like, "Hey, can you send me this or whatever?" And he was like, I don't know if I have it. And I was like, "Just send it if you've got it or something, like whatever." And then he's literally, "Oh, sorry, I was cooking and I forgot." I'm like, "Sean, be my friend right now. I just want you to be my friend." Okay? I want you to pretend that you know me and you cherish, our attitudes when we get together. That's what you got to love. You got to love the attitudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anyway, it didn't work. It's fine. It's fine. And that was not the exact story scenario, but that's just Sean. He's like,
I'll be the first one to admit that Sean was probably the most surprising person I met. He's the farthest away from his persona when you meet him in person. Because before I met him, I was Team Dan all the way. He was, Sean has that kind of edge to him on his show.
Yeah. Well, he's got the courage to stand up to Dan, but like anybody outside of Dan, he's scared as can be, and that's just endearing and sweet.
When he had met Nat and myself at the last whiskey weekend, actually it was the one before. He was the nicest.
Dude, he hung out with us till like 4 a.m.
Yeah. And as soon as he left, he got up, he shook Nat's hand, he says, "It was an absolute pleasure to meet you guys. Sorry I can't stay longer." And even then, then he left, very polite. And then this next whiskey weekend, when I was doing the roulette back and forth through the elevators, he was running back and forth, and he stopped, come back, and said, "Hi, how things going?" He made an effort to come say hi at 2 a.m. when he's got better things to do. So that changed a lot. Yeah, Sean is
Sean's a good dude, man. I like Sean.
Know that, but he is a really nice guy in person.
For the record, I love Dan, but I mean, Sean's just funnier. You know what I mean? It's just simple. It's like before Common Core math. You know how math used to be simple?
Oh, yeah. I used to know math. Now I don't.
That's the truth, dude. My daughter came home and we're just talking about adding and subtracting. But like if it's a 3-digit number plus a 3-digit number or something like that, buckle up and hold on because I have no idea what adventure we just went on.
I should have to watch a YouTube video to do math. You know what I mean?
Right. And the other thing is the teacher requires you to write out how you solved it. Like what went through your head when you solved this.
Yeah.
And there's just like, this, and it's got to be, that way. The free. I'm literally just looking at it, and be like, okay, the answer is, 624. Figured that out pretty easily.
Yeah. If I know the answer, do I have to go through all the bullshit, or can I just write down the answer?
Right? Can I be a savant right now? Can I just look at it and be like, yeah, that's it? Like, what's up? You know. Anyway, but I love y'all. Mean it. My wife is wondering where I am. This was a curveball. This was a curveball.
Well, thanks for taking a
Tell her I says, hey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Tease, your Aldi comment literally destroyed my gut. Like I laughed very,
That was
very, very hard.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Like
somebody's tapping.
Yeah, what is that? I think it's Jason.
Was it Jason?
I don't know.
All right, tapping's gone.
Yeah. That sounded like my belly after Chipotle. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I'm not sure. Is this me or?
It's just like, dude, you've got 53 seconds. Like, you have that.
You better make it.
It's just like,
yeah, you better make it. That's when.
What do you call a vegetarian with diarrhea?
Show up.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
What do you call a vegetarian with diarrhea?
I don't know.
In trouble?
Solid shooter. Only people are my age and higher would get that. So, because those commercials no longer exist. All right, guys. I love y'all. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man.
See you, Grace.
See you, Grace.
That sounds like fun. We should have a dad joke.
I'm glad he's gone. He gets on my nerves.
Dad joke to try to make everybody laugh. I did find the culprit. It's my fat butt in my Beats case that was rolling around when I hit the desk.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. All good. Yeah, so that's about it. We had an extra guest and a couple special guests. So Clint, thanks so much for jumping in.
You were the VIP special guest.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
We're loving the scotch. Troy's gonna drink one day. And maybe not like it. That Offerman was great. I would recommend it to anybody. And yeah, until next time. Jason, come on.
Stay buttoned up.
There we are. There we are. Cheers, everybody.